going to be showing you a variety of coloring pages. You can choose to color for the autumn season. I have pulled out and gone through my coloring book collection and found quite a large number of coloring books actually. So I've got a few here and a whole lot next to me, and I'm just gonna go through each of these books with you and give you some ideas. And of course, these are not limited to autumn. You can color these books in different seasons. However, with it being autumn now in September, I'm seeing the leaves starting to change. Some of the trees are dropping their leaves already. Even though it's quite warm here and we're still having summer heat, the seasons are shifting and changing. So we'll have September, October, and November, and possibly early December to still color in our autumn pages. Now, if you are interested in Halloween or harvest, I've also picked out coloring page options for you within the books that I have in my collection. So I'm trying to cover a variety of people who really enjoy coloring in this season. So I'm going to clear off my desk and we'll get started. So first up is April's Forest Girls coloring book, and I'm just going to go from the back because that's quite a bit easier for me. Now this book has a variety of pictures in them, so you could have, not that one, so it's more towards the back here. So this one is quite a great one for an autumnal color palette. And you've got the dog, you've got browns, especially if you follow April's original painting. If you have this page uncolored, this is also a great autumnal page. I use Neocolor 2s only for this page with a bit of skin tone colored pencils. All right, let's see. So definitely one there. You could do this one where you, as the months are cooling down, you are starting to make soups or stews. So that could be, and this one is called Making Mushroom Soup. So that definitely for me ties into the heart of autumn, how we prepare at home and in the kitchen. So not all of these pages are going to be relevant, but it just gives us an idea. Here again, the original picture has got an autumnal color palette, so you could even do that one if you want to. It's really just up to you. There wasn't a whole lot in here. Just quickly see. Here we go. This one is titled Holding Autumn with My Two Hands. So there's another beautiful autumnal page for you. Here you've got Autumn Rain, so another lovely page. You could color it any way you like. Here is another one, a bit of ripened red autumn. So because with autumn we get our beautiful apples and they get harvested. So again, a really, really lovely page. And if you look on April's original artwork, you actually have quite a lot of depth of color going on there. And here you've got another all autumn day. So definitely work with that one. And I I think that is the end. Yes, so those are just a few suggestions out of April's Forest Girls coloring book. Next we have my favorite book, Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. And you won't necessarily color every single one of these, but you know, by the time November comes around, there's a lot of mushrooms, so any page in here with mushrooms would make a great one to color. This one here with the house and the mushrooms. Again, you could pick any page and give it a autumnal color palette and it would work really, really well. But again, you know, forest goes through more than one season, so this book is open to many different options. Here, because it's got oak leaves, you could do this one as a autumnal palette. Again, we've got mushrooms. I definitely see this as an autumnal page. And even this one you could do with an autumnal color palette and it would look really, really pretty. Depending on how much you love coloring mushrooms, you could color any of these mushroom pages. There is a portrait here, this one. I think that one makes a great autumnal page, especially because now we've got acorns, and acorns really do start making themselves known during autumn. More mushrooms here. We've got a basket of something, so there's been some foraging. Yeah, I think those here you could do this one, warming themselves by the fire. I love sitting around a fire as the weather starts cooling down, roasting marshmallows and all of that. So you could very easily do this with autumn in mind before it becomes late winter or even early winter. It gets too cold to be outside. Owls are all year long, but for some reason my brain kind of thinks of owls and autumn together, so maybe just a silly correlation in my brain. But if you think like I do, that's an option for you. If not, yeah, don't worry. All right, Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. Next we have Layla Dooley's The Flower Year Coloring Book. And then here, if you go through to September all the way to November, we've got such beautiful illustrations. So here you've got the blackberries. Here we have various berries and chestnuts or conkers. And it's worth noting these are not the very furry conkers. These are those more, they're less spiky. I don't know which one they're called, whether they, because I know there's two types. So yeah, you've got this beautiful arrangement here. You could do the fuchsias. If you want to do fuchsia pages, you can follow this on my channel. I did it as a color along. And then you've got more flowers, and you get the apples. And then this is going into October now. So really, really lovely way of doing things. You've got acorns here. This is a color along up on the channel if you like the color combination. I will try and link that for you. You've got dry apple and rose hips here. And then November, we're seeing different types of berries coming through. You've got the different seeds here, those like helicopter seeds. And at the back of her book, Layla Dooley does tell you exactly which plants you're looking at and the names of the flowers. So this, I think, is more of a thistle. So beautiful purples and blues you could do there. And then you've got the berried Virginia creeper. And that takes us all the way up to December. So a beautiful selection of floral pages you can color in The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. Then we've got Rita Berman's Main Race Dirt Europa. Now there are a couple in here you can color in for autumn. Again, we've got, see, these are starting to go into winter, but you could have this one as a bit of autumnal into early winter if you like, but the same with this one here. This to me is the end of summer and early winter because you're still camping. It's still warm enough to camp, but you know, we're coming to the end. I tend to find a lot more hot air balloons in the UK towards the end of summer and early winter. I don't know if that's coincidental with holiday times or what. So, you know, if you agree with me, you could even do hot air balloons, but it's not limited to just autumn. Here I did autumn. I tried to do autumnal colors here because I've got the leaves, and to me that resembles autumn. Right, so let's have a look. I do have a few more. So you have this page, which I felt was quite autumnal, and then we also have here with anywhere where I see falling leaves, I automatically think autumn. So this one's very, very beautiful. Again, it lends itself to a lovely autumnal palette. And again here, you could do this one as autumnal. Again, you've got the falling leaves and you've got more rain coming through. So I find in the UK you get a lot more rain throughout the year. However, autumn through to spring, it's a lot more heavy rain than necessarily in summer, depending where you are in the UK, of course. I live in the southern parts of the UK, so I'm coming more from that angle than if you were to live in the middle or northern areas. And I think that is it. So those are my suggestions in Main Race Dirt Europa by Rita Berman. Of course, I'm not ruling out Die Welt unter der Lupedelandy by Rita Berman. I think this is a lovely colouring book, and I have got my eye on doing a couple more in here over the autumn time. So I don't think this is a double page spread. Here we've got the pine cones, you've got the beetle, and you've got mushrooms, so this could make a lovely autumnal page. Excuse me. Here I've got the birds with the berries, and it looks like they're harvesting berries. So you could easily do this page as well. This one is the different acorns and pine cones. Again, I did this as an autumnal palette. Here you've got berries, variety of berries. Here's blackberries. So again, a lot of berries I do find associated with autumn. However, you could color it any way you like and do it in any season. It really just depends on you. And then this one for me, it really is an autumnal page, and I've seen it colored in very, very beautifully by various people, and they really do it amazing justice. So I'm quite keen to try do this page. And then there was another one. You could do any of these if you fancy, but again, it depends on your perspective on it. You've got these leaves. You could do a wallpaper in autumnal colors. And yeah, so I think that is it in this book. Here again, you've got rain, so you could do this one if you like. I didn't tag every page, But yes, I think those really do, yeah, those are my autumnal suggestions out of Die Welt unter die Lupedelandy by Rita Berman. Next up is Crystal Vogel's Osmalreis der Verwunschenwald, and I think this book is really, really beautiful. Now here it has got a lot of mushrooms and fungi, so we'd have to go through and just have a look and see what do we think. But you could probably pick any of these pages and turn it into an autumnal theme. So this one to me is more summery, but it's more, you could illustrate the characters going through the seasons and their work through the seasons. So like this one I would probably create autumnal because of the pine cones. Possibly even these ones, because you've got those like helicopter seeds, you've got the fungi, and you could show a changing of the leaves here. So not every page in here is going to work for autumn, but you can definitely go through this book if you have it and just think what to you represents autumn. How could you create the page with an autumnal color palette? So yeah, there's a couple in there, but maybe this lends itself more to brighter colors. Right, moving on, we have Romantic Country, the second and the first tale. So I'm going to actually start with the first tale. And again, I'm going to go to the back of my book. And we're just going to have a quick look through here. So for harvest, to celebrate harvest, and I would do this page. You could also, for Halloween, you could do this page. Quite a cute page to do. There's not a whole lot in here. This one you could have it as a market, but I think it's got pumpkins, so you know, pumpkins are also autumnal, so you could do this double page spread if you fancy. Here you also have these ones, this double page spread. So let me zoom you out a little bit more. So this double page spread would work as well. I do like this page for autumn. I think it's a really, really lovely page. And there is this one here. You could do it with a natural history. I think it's called natural history. So like a plant catalogue. I think that's a better way of saying it. And then here you've got your apples. So you could do this with an autumnal theme as well. There weren't a massive amounts of autumnal pages in this book. I think that's all. Yeah, so that's all for the first tale by Erie. And then if we look in the second tale, there are a few more options for us in here. Again, it's not a whole lot, but just a few ideas. So here you could do, you could possibly do this one where you've got pies, you've got apples. So, you know, it wouldn't be a very strong autumnal theme, but you could do it as like a town celebration for autumn. Right, here you have the owls, but you could do this winter or autumnal. And then here we have a Halloween page for those of you who like Halloween. Maybe this one, depending on your interpretation. Okay, here you've got a whole lot of fungi, so this again would be more autumnal. Now, if you associate tea, you could do tea, a cup of tea. Just depends when in the year you drink tea. Some people drink tea all year round. This page here would work really well. You can do this in autumnal colors, and I have seen it, and it really does work. But I don't think there's much more. Yeah. So those are a couple of suggestions out of Romantic Country, the second tale. All right, moving on to Fragile World and Kirby Rosanas. So we have Fragile World by Kirby Rosanas, and here I just have the one page, and just got to find it. Here we go. So if I was to pick a Kirby page, I would pick this one for autumn, because here you've got a lot of fallen leaves, you've got a skull, and then your beetles. So I've always envisioned this page with an autumnal theme. So yeah, that is my suggestion out of Fragile World by Kirby Rosanas. Next we have Worlds Within Worlds. I think this one I also only had one suggestion. I have two. So there's this one, which you can do at winter, or not winter, sorry, you can do autumnal, or you could do a different time in the year. If you were to stick to lion colors, you could do this one in browns, and that would be a bit more of an autumnal palette. Just want to find my last suggestion. Again, here you could do the fungi, and that would be quite autumnal, but you could also bring brightness to it, because this is more of a Russian architecture, so you could go with more vibrant rooftops and really bring out color, so you're not limited to a autumn palette. You can be a bit more creative with that one. And then finally the apple page, because apples are harvested and ripened in autumn. I would think this would make a lovely page, and you could do bright red apples and green leaves with maybe some areas darkening. So yeah, those are my suggestions in Worlds Within Worlds by Kirby Rosanas. Next we have the Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle, and let's have a look. There were a few in here, so I found this book to be more floral. Right, so here you've got the squirrel, and he's harvesting his acorns for winter, so that would do really well. You've got this page here that also brings in quite a few autumnal elements, and here with all the acorns, we also have the owls surrounded by fungi, and then over here we've got the mandala with acorns. So these are all quite autumnal. I think those are the only ones. Yeah, so those are my suggestions for autumnal colouring in the Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. Next we have Jasmine Beckett Griffith's colouring book, and in here there are quite a few options for you. I just want to make sure. So these suggestions are for those of you who like colouring Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So let's have a look. So you have this one titled Halloween Twilight. Then, I mean, if you really want to go crazy on Halloween, you could pick any witch page and that would work for you. Okay, this one you have an apple, so you could do this one a little bit autumnal if you fancy doing your own color palette. This one could work because you have the scarecrow, you've got crows, so you could have more of like a yellow field, so the field is ripe and ready for harvest. This one is called the Scarecrow, one of my annual autumn or Halloween paintings. So there you go, this was created for Halloween or autumn. I think that might be all of them. I'll just quickly check. Yeah, so those are my suggestions out of Jasmine Beckett Griffith's colouring book. Then we have Anastasia Ellie Caldereva's A Maritime. Now I did find this page here in the cover because because it's blackberries, that makes a lovely autumnal page. I've still got to work on this page and finish it off, but there are a few more pages in here. So you have this one again, it's a conker page or chestnut page. You could do this one. I'm not sure what these are, but you could easily color this in an autumnal palette. Don't remember if there was more, if it was just those 2 pages. Oh, and then you've got the girl with the mushrooms on her head. So that makes another autumnal page. You could do this one as well, like I said, depending on how you associate owls. So yeah, those are my suggestions out of A Maritime by Anastasia Ellie Caldereva. Alright everyone, I'm going to finish up my series of autumn colouring books in part 2. I realised I've already done a video almost half an hour long and I've still got quite a few colouring books, so I'm going to do another video and I will talk about those. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this is giving you some helpful ideas and sparking your creative inspiration and ideas for autumn colouring over the next few months. And I will see you in my other video very soon. Thanks so much for joining me. Do like, subscribe, comment below and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video. Until then everyone, take care.